In 100 years, in 2124, you will be buried alongside your relatives and friends. In the homes you worked so hard to build and furnish, completely different people will live. They will own everything you possess today, including the car you spent all your money on. Your descendants will likely not know who you were. How many of you know the father of your grandfather? After your death, you will be remembered only for a few short years. And after some time, your story, your photos, your deeds will simply fade into oblivion, and there will be no trace left of you. Perhaps if you stopped and reflected on these questions, you would realize how pointless your constant striving for more was, doing things that weren't truly yours and living with people you didn't love, neglecting what truly matters in life. Wouldn't it be better to let go of all of this and live, enjoying the moments you once missed? The illusion of freedom. Every person in life faces a choice: live as a victor or as a victim. A victor is someone who takes responsibility for their life, sets goals, and achieves them despite difficulties. A victim tends to blame external circumstances and other people for their failures, avoiding responsibility. It's always easier to be the victim. But this only reflects cowardice and laziness. It's easier to complain about life, about not having what you want, about being overweight, difficult relationships where you are misunderstood, and so on. Yes, there are indeed many people who don't understand you, but this only means they are not your people. Have you noticed that when your body gives way under illness, it usually brings an abrupt stop to the race of daily life? In this state of weakness and vulnerability, where even simple tasks seem overwhelming, your thoughts naturally turn toward reevaluating your values, goals, and lifestyle. When a person falls ill, they face the reality that their usual energy has left them, and even simple actions require effort. At such moments, you often find yourself alone with your thoughts, without the noise and rush of life. This time of introspection often leads to significant conclusions: what truly matters in life. It's common during these times to suddenly realize how much attention you've been giving to secondary things, forgetting what's most important: the love for yourself. This realization becomes a reason to rethink your habits, lifestyle, and priorities. However, when the illness subsides, and you return to your usual life, many of the promises you made to yourself are soon forgotten. This happens for several reasons: resuming the routine pace of life, being overwhelmed with daily concerns, and the absence of external pressure. As you recover, you often fall back into your familiar behavior patterns, forgetting the insights you gained during your illness. To make real change, it's crucial not only to make a promise to yourself but to create conditions for following through.
Remembering death is the best way to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose.
Why do so many people choose the victim's position? The answer is simple: it's easier. Being a victim requires no effort. You don't need to leave your comfort zone. You can just go with the flow, not taking active steps. However, this life rarely brings satisfaction or happiness. The victor's mindset demands effort, but it brings far more fulfillment. Victors set goals and achieve them. They learn from their mistakes and grow stronger. They understand that success is the result of hard work and perseverance. Almost everyone, from the moment they are born, is already woven into a complex web of social, cultural, and economic ties. These invisible threads, like a spider's web, limit your movements as you grow older, shaping your consciousness. With age, this web becomes only stronger. Family, school, friends, work, each of these institutions has a massive influence on you, shaping your views, values, and habits. You learn to play by certain rules, adapting to societal norms. And the older you get, the harder it becomes to step outside this socially accepted behavior. But the most surprising thing is that the system is so intricate and well thought out that people often don't even realize how restricted their opportunities are. They accept the rules of the game as a given, never considering that they could live differently. And it seems that changing anything is impossible because the whole system is against you. However, the paradox is that all the boundaries you feel exist only in your mind. In reality, you are far freer than you think. You simply fear stepping beyond your comfort zone, fearing judgment from others. So how do you find your freedom in this world of limitations?
True freedom does not depend on external circumstances. It is a state of mind where a person can be themselves, even in the most unfavorable conditions.
The first step is realizing that you are not as free as you think, strange as it may sound. Understanding that your thoughts and actions are largely shaped by external factors allows you to distance yourself from them and start making your own decisions. Adapting to the existing conditions, in other words, making the best of where you are and what you have, you can find ways to live as comfortably and freely as possible. It's important to strike a balance between individuality and the need to conform to societal norms. You shouldn't completely reject society, but neither should you dissolve into it entirely. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowlines. Sail away from the safe harbor. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover." By recognizing this, you will come to understand that no one is fully free, but neither is anyone a prisoner of their circumstances. To reiterate, all the limits exist only in your head. Once you realize this, you can start building your life as you wish, finding your own freedom within the system. Cultivate the ability to think flexibly. This means adapting to changing circumstances, being open to new experiences, and not getting stuck in rigid expectations. You will realize how simple things truly are and wonder why you didn't understand this before. Let's talk about the psychological aspects that influence your choice between the mindset of a victor and that of a victim. Often your behavior is determined by deep-seated beliefs formed in childhood. For example, if someone grew up in an environment where they were constantly criticized, they may develop the belief that they aren't capable of success. This belief may become the foundation for adopting the victim mentality, leading them to wonder why their neighbor lives a happy life, achieving success with ease while they cannot. This shapes your self-esteem, a key factor. People with high self-esteem believe in their abilities, are ready to take on challenges, and take risks. Life responds to them in kind. People with low self-esteem fear failure and prefer to stay in their comfort zone. Life, in turn, responds to them accordingly. Your environment plays a huge role. The people you surround yourself with can either lift you up or drag you down. Surround yourself with those who inspire and motivate you, not those who constantly complain about the world. It's also important to choose your sources of information wisely. It's no secret that consuming negative content shapes a pessimistic worldview.
Anyone who listens to reason rather than the crowd can guess that life, now as always, is a priceless gift from God. You can prove this by putting a revolver to the head of a pessimist.
Negative experiences can also greatly influence your present and future. Since your present is the result of past events, actions, and decisions, you must learn to extract lessons and benefits from the past for the sake of your future, and leave it behind. Since you cannot change the past, there is no point in dwelling on it. But you can influence your future, and you do so every day, often unconsciously. Your present, today, tomorrow, the events happening to you, and the actions you take, all shape your future. If you understand this, you control your life and can easily overcome difficulties in achieving your own goals because the limits exist only in your mind. Existential philosophy asserts that every person is responsible for their choices and actions. Jean-Paul Sartre said, "Man is condemned to be free," meaning you always have a choice, even if it seems limited. Accepting this freedom and responsibility may be frightening, but it is what truly makes you free. Modern research in neurobiology has shown that the brain constantly adapts and changes in response to experience. This phenomenon is called neuroplasticity. When you choose the victor mentality and take active steps, you strengthen the neural connections associated with positive thinking and determination. Conversely, passive behavior and complaints strengthen the connections associated with negativity and helplessness. The brain is the primary engine and organizer of the psyche. It works so hard that it consumes 20 to 25% of the glucose and oxygen our body receives, even though it only makes up 2% of our total body weight, Lammert, 2008. The brain, much like a refrigerator, is always humming, always working, and it uses nearly the same amount of energy whether you're sleeping or thinking intensely.
Only humans worry about the future, regret the past, blame ourselves for the present. We get upset when we can't have what we desire, and feel disappointment when the things we enjoy come to an end.
Listen to yourself, be authentic, value the present, and don't waste your life on things you don't need. Make mistakes and learn from them, as mistakes are the only way to grow and gain wisdom. Love yourself more than anyone else. Love your body, mind, health, and spirit. Be open, grateful, and, above all, simply be yourself. Then awareness will come, and life will become as clear as an open book.